That little girl, is she the culprit? Oh, whoa! What the? Yo! Hmm? Oh no! False hope is probably one of the worst things in life because false hope can be deadly, especially when people are in their vulnerable states. Having that false hope is truly, truly detrimental for everything. Hello friends, my name is Benoit Kim, a UPenn educated psychotherapist and a master of overthinking. Welcome to my detailed analysis of the Apothecary Diaries episode 8. Assassination Zero, Vanessa Hera, and Greg Bogie are the sponsor tier highlights of today's video. I appreciate your support. Sit back and I hope you enjoy. I forgot, Mao Mao is still spending her 3 days of homecoming, right? Coming home to her father with that crazy cliffhanger from last episode. Right. Guess she also forgot. Oh, beautiful day. Does Mao Mao's dad or father have a name? Or are we just gonna refer to him as Mao Mao's dad? Here comes my overthinking and over analysis. Mao Mao is right. The father is obviously aged, although I made a comment that he looks the same, seemingly timeless, with Mao Mao's flashback in earlier episode and what he looks now. One thing I do want to double click on is the importance of having purpose, a calling, North Star, feeling something to be productive, feeling like we are an active, upright citizen of this society and we are actively contributing to society, whether it's job or passion or work. And this is a reason why the highest, I know this is a dark topic real quick, but it is relevant. The highest demographic in the United States as of 2025 is actually white males age 58 and 65, around that bracket. That bracket of men who are retiring or about to retire has the highest rate. Coincidence? No. It's because, like I just talked about, many men in a very patriarchal, toxic way, they dedicate their entire self-worth, their self-esteem, who they are, into what they do. But of course, what we do does not define who we are. And who we are is not confined by what we do. But because of the patriarchal and capitalistic paradigm, many men do that inevitably. They put all their eggs of their purpose in the basket of work. So once they retire, they feel purposeless, they feel aimless, they feel lost, they feel unproductive. They feel like their meaning of their life is now lost. And that does contribute significantly to the highest rate that I talked about. And this is the reason why Mao Mao's father is working, harvesting herbs into medicine. Sure, he enjoys that, according to Mao Mao, but it's deeper than that. It's about no matter how old we are, we want to feel like we're contributing something to the society. We want to feel useful. Because when we feel useless, we also feel very lost. So I just want to share my quick over-analysis just to kickstart this episode. Who this? They kind of look similar. Wait, what? Hmm? What is this? What? Wow, that child acts fast. Hmm? Oh. What's going on? Damn, look at those abs. Sorry, I know this is a serious moment. Oh, jeez. Oh.
水は飲ませるな。炭だ。炭を用意しろ。
I'm sure Mama was going to explain this, but based on my knowledge, charcoal, even in today, in modern sense, charcoal is great because chemically, again, I'm not a chemist, so please do not ask me any further questions. I know what I know, and I don't know what I don't know. Charcoal is a great chemical composition that attracts some of the ions and electrons, specifically like plus negative charges. And a lot of the poisons or toxins have those electric charges. So charcoal actually attracts those toxins, and toxins get stuck because they gravitate towards charcoal. And then so when we take charcoals, like pills, liquids, whatever form, because charcoal can come in different forms, it is a very great way to cleanse out or the toxins in our systems. I'm pretty sure Mama's going to explain that way better than I just did. But just a quick highlight, did you see how fast Mama switched from, whoa, she literally just got dragged by this little girl. She was looking for her dad. She just woke up from sleeping. And then as soon as she sees what is going on, people puking, people asking for help, she slaps her face and boom, she turns on into action mode. It's not just her altruistic behavior springing into actions, but it also speaks deeper into her muscle memory and also the power of repetition. And here's something I want to share quickly. We become what we do over time, and we become what we say over time. That's the power of repetition. Even if we think we're not liars, if we lie all the time, we are liars. Even if we think we are disciplined and we're not lazy, if we don't do anything we say we're going to do, if we disappoint ourselves, if we let down our own promises and our own expectations, then we're lazy. We become what we do and say over time. We become the repetition in itself. And that is what Mama was demonstrating. She's such a competent and impressive helper, in his case, a rescuer, in this case also apothecary, that no matter how half awake she is, no matter how clueless, because she doesn't even know why she's here, as soon as her action is demanded, she can switch it on because that is the amount of repetition and practices she's put in, the reps. And because practice does not make perfection. I've said it in the Takopi series, perfection is a lie, it's an illusion. But rather, practice makes progress. And Mama is a beautiful demonstration of that. What? That was a sick transition. Nice. Oh, Mama didn't explain the usage of charcoal? Oh, that's wine or alcohol? Wheatstock, the title of this episode?
南の外壁のそばの畑にうちの親父がいるはずだから後で連れてきてくれ。わかった。
Whoa, did you see that sinister look of that little girl before she walked out? It kind of reminiscent the stare of the father from last episode at the end when he said, what a twist of fate. Of course, Mama's father is not sinister. But again, there's so many foreshadowing cliffhangers in this show. And I feel like this anime's mastered the usage of glare and eyes. Remember my comments in episode 1 that our eyes are the windows to our souls. And based on people's eyes, if you know what to observe, like micro expressions and so on, micro expressions, concepts I talked about, you can gauge a certain personality type and like a vibe check, so to speak. But yeah, what is the meaning of that side glare and the sinister look that little girl had? So unexpected.
遅かったな、親父。
この子が足を気遣ってくれたんだ。
炭は潰しておいた。
ああ、すぐに薬草に混ぜて飲ませよ
う。Yep, so they're gonna ingest charcoal with herbs.
あの人は無事よ。薬も飲んだし。
Nice.
処置の仕方はまあまあかな。
まあまあかい。親父は1の情報から2も3も知ることができる人間だ。
これは何の毒だと思った？
来た。
Oh, she said it's time because she's about to get quizzed. And again, this might be not related, but as I've shared before, my wife is a physician, a GI doctor to be specific. And when she went through residency and all the physician training, I learned about this term. She calls it pimping. Pimping is a common practice in medicine or hospital for doctors where they get pimped by like senior physicians. They'll randomly ask them questions, quiz them randomly because knowledge is everything for physicians. They call it getting pimped because senior physicians are quizzing them. So in this case, similarly, I think Mao Mao is also getting pimped by her father in terms of knowledge. What do you think that poison was? And did you see Mao Mao was like, it's time. So I'm sure this is like a common routine, maybe even daily routine that Mao Mao went through to become so impressive. Since I've drank enough of Mao Mao's Kool-Aids, right? But she's so impressive at such a young age. Although I don't quite know how old she is because the show never revealed. Because she's probably getting pimped in terms of her medical knowledge, herb knowledge, poison knowledge by her father. But the real question lies, how much more impressive is her dad? Because Mao Mao even said it. We know she's brilliant and she holds herself to a very high standard. She's like, dad can deduce 2 to 3 things based on very little information. So I'm sure her dad is even 10 times more impressive than Mao Mao. What a mysterious man. And I guess my speculation is, remember, again, with how episode 7 ended, when the dad is like, what a twist of fate. Because he knows she's been spending time in River Palace. Was her dad a palace physician? Because that would make sense why he's so good at what he does. And he knows all these things. Is that who her dad was? A palace physician? Or like a palace apothecary? Here comes the pimping.
親父はたまにこうやっタバコの葉は猛毒だ。心中で使うならこれだと思う。
水は飲ませなかったようだね。逆効果だろう。でも
Interesting.
もしこれが最初から水に溶かしたものであったなら
ない。見逃した。まだ寝ぼ薄めた方がいい場合もある。よし、覚えた。
Wow. Oh, I got goosebumps. Did you see how astute the dad is? Literally within 2 sentences, because Mao Mao answered the question very well, but the dad immediately is, what if tobacco was soaked in water? He was able to figure out a counter argument and a counter example to teach Mao Mao a lesson without directly criticizing her. It's like giving feedback without giving feedback, and it's encouraging Mao Mao's learning, and he is encouraging her growth without criticism by simply asking questions. That is so impressive. Masterful teachers, mentors, educators are very good at that. They teach people by asking questions without directly telling them or criticizing them. But what I also want to double click on is Mao Mao's humility. Again, I'm drinking Mao Mao's Kool-Aid because it is a big jar. There's a lot of Kool-Aid to be drank. Mao Mao's intellectual humility has been established since very, very beginning. I talked about it countless times, but here it shines once again. Oh, maybe I'm half asleep. She immediately self-reflects and evaluates her performance, and she's like, lesson learned. That level of humility is why she's so good at what she does. She doesn't get cocky. She doesn't get defensive. She acknowledges her, I guess, not a misstep, but her oversight, and she immediately collects data, and she learns and implements her lesson by internalizing it. So impressive. I guess like father, like daughter.
すまないね。
客用の茶菓子を振る舞うとはなかなか気前が。
Nice. Oh, this is a different brothel.
器に紅が映らないように使うのか。
本当に助かったよ。これは心ばかりだが。
Ching
い
ching.
やそんなにもらえ
親
な
父、今月やり手ババアに。
では
まったくこの親父は。
I guess we know where Mao Mao got her altruism from her dad. She's like, oh, you don't have to worry. We're just doing our jobs. We're happy to save those 2 people. But of course, there's reality. You still got to pay rent, pay for food, roof over your head, and so on. remember Maslow's hierarchy, right? The pyramid on the bottom is survival needs, basic necessities. So Mama was like, hey, you can't afford your rent, so accept the gesture of kindness or money or payback, whatever it is. But I see where Mao Mao's altruism came from. It's her dad.
花町では珍しくもない心中だろう。身請けできない男と年季の明けない女が揃えば、そんなことばかり思いつくのだ。しかしあの男、偏見で考えると怒られそうだが、義女との未来を憂いて毒を飲むようには見えなかった。ちょっと様子を見てくる。
That little girl, is she the culprit? Oh, whoa! What the? Yo! Whoa! What the heck is going on? Wow, headbutt. Damn. Oh, it hurts my forehead. Jeez. She's just a little girl. That's not sus at all. I think people know about that little girl.
彼はもともと問題の多い客だったの。義女に恨みばかり買って逆上した女に刺されそうになったり、毒を盛られたこともあったわ。金で解決してた。最近では親に頼んで召喚まで護衛をつけてきていたわ。身請けの当日に急に白紙にされた。だから許せなかった。
そんな客なら出入り禁止にすればいいものを。
入れ込んだのはあの子の方なの。
やけに手厚かったのは豪商の息子を自分の店で死なせずに済んだからか。そして今日はたまたま私が家に帰っていたが、いつも買い物をしている子なら親父のいない時間くらい知っていたかもしれない。あのカムロ、小さい割に恐ろしい。
That little girl timed it so that the dad, who's also like a well-known apothecary in this village town, sounds like, she times the poisoning so that those people cannot be saved. Wow. But what I really want to focus on is I think that scenario poses a very interesting ethical dilemma. Again, for me as a psychotherapist, for physicians, nurses, a lot of helping professionals, we have to abide by our own criterias of law and ethics. Lawyers have theirs too, but lawyers can be a little bit muddier because they know how to finesse the law and so on. Not a diss against lawyers, since obviously there are many, many different type of lawyers. But generally for me, myself, I have to abide by law and ethics. Otherwise I could lose my, licensure, my board, etc., etc. So for apothecary, it's obviously back then, there's no board. There's no regulatory supervisory bodies or regulatory bodies that says this is what you can do, this is what you cannot do, law and ethics. Because laws are easy. Laws are black and white. But ethics are tricky because it can be nuanced, and a lot of things in life is in the gray. It's not black and white. It's not right or wrong. It's very nuanced and very tricky. Case in point, this scenario. As an apothecary, as the person who rescued those two individuals from those poisoning attempts, she found out that there is a backstory behind it. The guy is a shit dad. He sounds like a cheapskate. Although he's rich, he sugarcoats women, he takes advantage of them, and he lets them down. He crushes their dream by instilling false hope. False hope is probably one of the worst things in life. And that's the same reason why I never guarantee or make any false promises for my clients, whatever it is. I never guarantee that I can make them feel better. I'm not God. I never guarantee that I could erase their suffering. I'm not God. What I can promise is I'll show up to the best of my ability every single session. What I can promise is my efforts, my focus, being intentional, doing my research, prep, due diligence, and so on. Because false hope can be deadly, especially when people are in their vulnerable states. Having that false hope is truly, truly detrimental for everything. So here, that's what the guy does. He creates false hope and takes advantage of those courtesans and those women. But my question is the ethical dilemma for Mao Mao. Does she have any ethical duties to report the accuracy of the incidents? Because 2 people nearly died. Or obviously she chose to not disclose such information, not lying, but also hiding the truth because of the backstory. So again, do you see how ethics are very, very tricky? You can argue that she's being unethical because she's lying by not telling the whole truth. Because a guy, a human, almost got poisoned, almost caused a loss of life, a death, a murder. So what comes first? And what would you guys have done in this scenario? And do you guys feel like, well, Mao Mao did is ethical or unethical? Of course, it's case by case and it's very tricky. But do you see why I think this scenario speaks volume to ethical dilemma and the complexity of the human experience and ethics?
せっかく帰ってきたというのになんだったね。
親父、さっきの見せて。ちゃんと入ってる。案の定、口止め料まで。
Hush money.
でもなんだか引っかかる。話からして男はかなりしたたかだ。そんな男が惚れた腫れたで心中など起こすものだろうか。ならば無理心中か。いや、毒を盛られたことのある男がそう簡単に。
マオマオ、憶測で物を言っちゃいけないよ。
親父はもう真相に気づいているんだろ。
He already knows?
思い出そう。現場に何があったか。
Also, who would have thought the Apothecary Diaries? This show is not just about herb, medicine, apothecary stuff. It's also about detective. This is straight up a psychological detective novel, dude. How many times did Mao Mao show up as a detective? How many times did she deduce and leave important clues for Master Jinshi and the River Palace? And now it sounds like the father already knows what's going on because Mao Mao said it earlier, a callback, that he can figure out just based on 2 to 3 clues. So, and we saw the father's not responding because he already guessed what happens. And that's why he's like, don't speak based on conjecture. And now Mao Mao's thinking she's entered her detective mode. What a show.
見逃したものはないか。タバコの葉は猛毒だ。心中。これは心中じゃない。殺人だ。水に溶かしたもの。麦わら。種類の違う2色の酒。
もう終わったことだ。
分かってる。
I guess the dad didn't really care because it's already over, and it sounds like Mama already made a decision to not further or to not report the attempted murder slash what she thought as double homicide. But again, this speaks to Mao Mao's curiosity. We've seen her getting obsessive and diving into rabbit holes. And how many incidents and instances did she get involved after saying none of my business? All those people she saved, all the clues and deductions she provided to Master Jinshi. Initially, she's like, not my business. But you can see her brain in hyperdrive and she's still thinking because she can't help her curiosity. And as I've spoken many times, it is her curiosity that made her such an impressive person and an amazing person overall. Curiosity is everything. So we'll see if Mao Mao gives it up, like what her dad said, it's over, or she's going to give in to her curiosity and further investigate.
心中じゃなく殺人。しかも殺そうとしたのは妓女の方。
What?
妓女が無事なら男は酒を口にする。
Wow.
実際に毒の酒を飲めば女も無事では済まない。そこで道具を使った。酒は2種類。器は
Oh.
客を喜ばせる小ネタとして使えば、怪しまれることなく妓女は下の層だけを麦わらで飲んでみせた。
Whoa!
もない。朝方にことを起こしたのだろう。そして都合よくそれを発見する人間がいた。儚げだが、それでいてしたたか
Wow.
だ。
Wow. See? There's two type of cleverness and smarts in this world. Book smart and street smart. Book smart and street smart. That courtesan, sure, she works in a brothel. She's not literate. She's not highly educated. But regardless, she's extremely street smart. She knows how to survive. The art of survival. And she's smart enough to use that parlor trick to not only fool the guy who's super cautious because he survived another poison attack, but also she has multiple layer plan to maximize her survival, choosing the time of the day in the morning, also to make sure that Mao Mao's father, who's the apothecary, gets summoned just in time so that she is saved, but maybe the guy is further along because she poisons him sooner than she poisoned herself as a disguise. So this was like a 4 or 5 layer and very, very tight plan to make this happen. Mao Mao is impressive. And again, my question once again, how much more impressive is Mao Mao's father? And who is he? Who is this man? We must know.
姉さん何やってるの？寝て。
おかしかった。男を手遅れに薬屋を訪ね、親父を呼ぶのにも時間をかけた。ようにまた親しい者が死ぬとは考えなかったのだろうか。いるようだったなんて考えすぎだろうか。そして
Mama, welcome to the overthinking squad. I'm there with you. I got you.
怪しいと思ったらいくらでもしやみんな
Were they all in this together? Wow. Was this a group
憶
effort?
測で物を言っちゃいけないか。
True.
ずっと帰りたかった花町も であり鳥かごだ。
Garden and a cage. Wow, it's like a bird being trapped inside the cage within a garden. Garden and a cage. Wow. Filled with best of both worlds. Pleasure, but also suffering. That was deep AF. Super poetic.
毒を食らうことで甘い毒へと変わっていく。
Oh, bars. Dang, Mama was a poet.
あの
Very
美女
deep.
がどうなるのかはわからない。ドラ息子が脅すかもしれない。どちらでもいい。そんなことをいちいち考えていてはこの町で生きていけない。
True. There's endless suffering.
マオマオ。
Mao Mao.
めいめい姉ちゃん。
Mei Mei, based on, again, depends on the pronunciation. Like how I said Mao Mao can mean hair or cat. Mei Mei could also means beauty, because Mei could means younger sister or beauty. So it could be sister or beauty. Beauty.
もう高級に戻るの？
年季がまだ1年残ってるし、仕事を放棄したら迷惑がかかる。
そう、せっかく帰ってこられたのに。マオマオが急に行方不明になってみんな心配してたの
Aww,
よ。
that's awesome.
パイリンもジョカもおばばも。
そんなこと一言も。
いつも通りだったでしょ。あんたが帰ってきたからよ。
そっか。
やだ、寂しくなっちゃった。よしよし。
めいめい姉ちゃん。
Yoshi.
マオマオ、離れには行ったの？
後で行く。
What's there? What's in the annex? Whoa, look at those eyes.
気をつけるんだよ。
親父も行ってきます。3日間の里帰りは
Yo, again, can we talk about how calm and chill and nonchalant the dad is? Your daughter was kidnapped 10 months ago, which is a reason why she's subjugated to the modern slavery of real palace. You're not gonna walk her to the real palace. You're just gonna let her walk again. Do you believe in that much power of the freckles and the makeup that she has as disguise? Why aren't you walking your daughter? Come on, don't you want to spend more time with her before? Like, he is so nonchalant about this. Like, your daughter was kidnapped. What?
という間に終わった。
Time flies. The military officer.
一度天井の管殺さず絞り取ることだろう。
They will squeeze him dry gently but thoroughly. What a use of adjectives. And so I guess the military officer spent all 3 days. I guess it makes sense because he has to vouch for Mao Mao. And if he goes home or goes back to palace or real palace without Mao Mao, that wouldn't work out. I'm sure he doesn't work at real palace, but yeah, if he doesn't go back to the palace, then Mao Mao also has to go back. Obviously, that's the deal. But 3 days. You're a lucky man, dude.
前払いで足りなかった銀を補うのは
Hmm?
おかげで次の身売り先が決定である。
Oh, so fun. Hmm?
なぜだろう。やっぱこっちを選んでいる。
Yo, I forgot about the poor Master Jinshi. Look at, dude, he's sulking. I've never seen him sulk in 8 episodes thus far. But the only time we're seeing him sulking in full tantrum, anger, bittersweet, or bitter mood is because his beloved toy, that's not my word, that's the other guy's term, the special interest, the subject of his special affinity, affection, was missing for 3 days because another military officer, another male, took her out of the real palace. Is this jealousy I'm seeing wrapped in this tension?
早めに退散しよう。では着替えて。
Oh. Oh, I love this show.
なんだか態度が悪い気がする。
Do you see Master Jinshi shaking his legs? That's angst, right? That's annoyance. That's frustration. So I agree with Mao Mao. Well, obviously we know, except for Mao Mao, everyone, including the audience, knows exactly why he is upset. But again, outside of science, experimentation, tasting poison for pleasure, outside of those things, Mao Mao is completely clueless. So she's the only one who's thinking, I wonder why. For some reason, he seems really upset. Bro, why else would he be upset? It's jealous. It's jealousy. Come on now.
気のせいだろうか。
No, you're not overthinking.
にしてもなぜ二人きりなんだ。
Oh.
どうだった？
みんな元気そうで何よりでした。
李白っていうのはどう？
Here comes the real question. Do you see that setup? The first questions are seemingly unrelated. Oh, so you went home. How was it? Oh, cool. Everyone's well. I'm happy for you. So how was this Master Le Croix fellow? What did you guys do? Huh? Did you guys spend time alone with each other? Is he handsome? Is he buff? Does he have a six-pack? Does he have big biceps? Because he does have a big biceps. How was he? Tell me everything. This is the true point of this summon. He doesn't care about Mao Mao's homecoming experience. He wants to know all the tea. Because again, I sense jealousy in the air.
手に名前を知っている。
Yo!
意味が分かってい
Is he good? Bro, are you good?
しっかりした交換でなければ引き受け人にはなれないと。
たものに俺は
Lost? Ah.
俺なんだ、要するに自分に話が来なかったのが気に食わない。
Mama, no. Come on.
るのに暇人だから夜会事でもかまっ
Look at all the fidgeting that Master Chinshi's doing, right? Again, he was shaking his legs. Now he's fidgeting with the cup with his fingers. He was facing down, face palming himself. All these questions, his tonality changed. He's not as calm as usual. He's not as nonchalant and composed as usual. Behavior signs are so obvious. It's literally screaming, saying that I was jealous. How can you go with him over me? How dare you? I'm sulking. I'm sad. I'm upset. But Mao is like, oh, don't you want to stay out of trouble? You wanted me to rely on you as a guarantor? Come on. Do you see that? It's so funny.
申し訳ありません。人士様にご満足いただける対価など思いつかなかったもので。
対価ってなんだ。お前それを李白ってやつに払ったのか。
ええ、一夜の夢に喜んでおりました。
一夜。
大変ご満足いただけたようで、こちらとしても頑張った。
Oh no!
何してるんですか？
Oh shit, sorry. Oh my gosh. Shook my entire table. Yo, this is a classic example of misunderstanding and miscommunication. In his mind, because of his jealousy, this kind of calls back to my concepts that I shared in last episode about the power of cognitive biases. And when we do not fact check and do not have conversations and ask the person directly, that assumption creates false impression. And over time, that false impression deepens and actually distorts reality, right? And I don't know if you guys heard this saying, but as a 90s baby, I grew up hearing that never assume, because assume will make you and me an ass, or make an ass out of you and me. Assume, right? ASS, you and me. Making an ass out of you and me. AKA, don't make assumptions. Do not assume, because we're most likely wrong. This is exactly what is happening. In his mind, all he heard is, a night of blissful dreams? You worked really hard? You're pleased with yourself? He was really happy? What the fuck? What did you guys do? What did you do to him and with him? Oh my gosh. And we see Master Jinshi literally paralyzed and dropped the cup. This is the least and the most uncomposed and shocked I've seen Master Jinshi. Again, this is the power of love, or is it special interest, or is it affection? What is going on? So funny.
シミになる前にこれで。失礼しますよ。すぐ洗濯に出した方がいいかと。
We call this in Korean mengbung. Mengbung is like when your brain just goes poof, like you're just speechless. Like your brain is stopped working. Mengbung, that's what it means. Like he's in full mengbung state. His brain stopped operating. He's literally like, his CPU, his computer went offline. He entered self-preservation mode out of shock, disbelief, and jealousy, I guess. Man.
茶碗もすぐ片付けますから触らないでくださいよ。失礼します。
3 days later, I'm sure he's still frozen like this. Obviously, Lady Yokyu is laughing out loud because she knows exactly what is going on, and it's so amusing. And Hongyang, the head lady in waiting, she slapped her head because I'm sure they overheard the conversation and she knew exactly the miscommunication that took place. Again, like always, the only person who's clueless is Mao Mao. What a pure soul. Mao Mao, now I declare this officially. Mao Mao is a national treasure. We must protect Mao Mao at all costs. You with me? Yo, I think this is the hardest I've laughed out loud, genuinely, in any anime I've seen in a long time, at least 5 years, like hands down. I love this show. That was such a comedic release, and that was like low-key therapeutic for me and healing. Shout out to everyone that voted for this show again. As always, if you enjoy my analysis and my in-depth commentary, make sure you're subscribed because you don't want to miss my next video and my next series. And make sure you smash that thumbs up because I do give my best in every single video. And before you head out, do me a favor. Is there any question about any concept or anything I share in the video? If so, leave a comment, ask me any questions, and I'll be sure to follow up by sharing more information and resources with you all. Appreciate you guys for tuning in as always. Until next time, peace.